What up, guys? So we currently got the Coalition Clan Boss event going on, and this thing has kind of divided people's opinions. I feel like most people seem to be not very happy about this event. Like most people, I guess, feel that it's too hard, you need too many champions, and it feels really annoying to miss on some of these juicy rewards that can be kind of hard to get. And then some of the, big boy accounts, they feel like it's too easy and too boring. So I feel like Mario managed to hit the sweet spot where barely anybody is happy with this content. Everybody seems to dislike it for one reason or another. Me personally, I'm super happy with this content, and I kind of want to talk about it and my teams and what I think would be good ways to go about it on your account. I was meant to do this video like several days ago, like Saturday, but the entire last week was just full of Easter family stuff and I wasn't really able to make any raid videos or barely play at all. But so as you can see, I'm kind of content with the event. I got 10k points right now, like personal contribution. I guess I'm 15k total. And assuming that we hit the 2x multiplier, I'm basically already getting all of the rewards. Well, not the like ranking or the top 100, but the other ones at least. So I'm, content on this, and this is exactly my kind of PVE content. You get big rewards and it doesn't take too much effort. Now, this will depend. Maybe some of you spent a lot of time on these. I was kind of going at it on like a different strategy, All the respect for the PVE players, but I'm one of those people that Clan Boss and Hydra and Chimera and like the daily quest and everything else, they are like eating vegetables. I will do it, some of it is okay, some of it can taste pretty decent, like maybe I don't know what you call it in English, onion or carrots for instance, I like. But obviously steak is way better. So I mean, I'll do it, but I really want to do PvP, not Clan Boss. For me, this is like a perfect Clan Boss. It's not too hard. It's kind of like a champion check. How many champions do you have? Of course, you need to build teams too, but it can be more about the champions because you might not have any teams for any of these like restricted Clan Boss keys, so it depends on that. But if you can do everything, you might be able to do it with quite minimal effort, like me. Okay, I'm not gonna mince my words here. I literally didn't even read the boss abilities. I kind of did couple keys just like dry, and I kind of saw what was going on. I think they made this boss, we don't have like too complicated mechanics. Obviously there is some mechanics and you could build team around them, but you're not gonna have the champions to build a team around the mechanics. And if you do, then you're not gonna watch this video in the first place because you're already like, in the top 100 global leaderboards, and this is not relevant for you, and you're fighting for like this mythic relic that is not really super relevant because of the nerf. So it's kind of like a champion check. If you have a good pool, then you can do it. If you have like kind of good, but not like crazy, you don't have everything, then you might need to think about it a little bit. But it's not like, you need to have, I don't know, taunt on the enemy boss and block damage on your entire team, or you can't kill it. You can do it many different ways. Now, let me quickly go through my teams, what were my thoughts here. Like, okay, the first two ones, I had like some good champions. The other ones, not so good. You will see later on. Okay, the first key, you could use no restrictions. You could use everything. So this is like my best possible PvE team. This is like a Hydra team or Chimera team, so it shouldn't come off as a surprise. A lot of people should be able to do this key, even if you're not uber endgame, and some people will do like infinite amount of damage on this, and my damage will be like a joke for them. But I don't think there's really too many things to say about the stage 1. You use your basically best Hydra team that you happen to have, or somewhere between your Hydra and Chimera, because it's obviously single target, but basically what can whip out the most damage. And I got some upgrades actually, so I can probably increase a lot of these keys actually later on. Like this one, I didn't have any blessing on Westhill when I did this, and I happened to get two different souls from the shop today at different times. So she went from +0 to +2. Basically it was just, I can use Westhill in this like the second key restriction, and then I made a full team about Westhill. That's about it. Nothing too complicated. Now the other ones are more interesting, and these I barely had like any good champions to go with. And like they did on this event, if you can do really good damage on like the first unrestricted key, then you maybe don't even have to finish the 85 million damage to get the tokens on all of them. I wasn't able to do it on the last one, or at least so far I didn't do it. Maybe I'll get into it later on. So my third key, here it gets a little bit more interesting. I think this is something of note for you guys. Like, I don't have like crazy. Can I just take them off? By the way, I like the fact that they let us do setups here. I outdoed all of my keys. This was fun. You didn't have to actually manual, because this would have been kind of painful if you have to do them and also manual, because the AI doesn't do everything correctly. But luckily they put it here. I wish some other things where they haven't putting it, they would just put it everywhere. But Xenomorph must like my key factor here. Can we see the damage somewhere? No, not that one. Yeah, so I didn't have like crazy good team here. Actually, I was kind of struggling on the third one. I didn't have like many good champions here, but Xenomorph turned out to be like a key factor here. Like, he does poisons and then he gets increased damage with both. Like, he does extra damage if the enemy already has poison. So I just went like full team supporting him basically. Even the Aphidus here. Aphidus is kind of a lackluster. I'm pretty sure Aphidus even got buffed long time ago, and he's still definitely not relevant in PvP, but even in PvE he's not really impressive at all. Little bit, you know, sucky mythic champion, but Aphidus was almost like a support here. He was there really to do the increased buff duration for Xenomorph. His damage was barely anything, but I could have done a little bit more damage with who was it? Supreme Elhain. Yeah, Supreme Elhain. She did like little bit more damage than Aphidus when I was testing, but basically I did just full Xenomorph team, and it was crazy. I didn't even have like masteries on Xenomorph, not Xenoform. I kind of farmed a little bit masteries when I did couple keys, but he doesn't have like Helm Smasher or anything. Not that you really need it on this boss, because he seems to be kind of low defense like the normal clan boss. That's something of note. So if you want to make like a good team, instead of going like full ignore defense like you would in PvP or Hydra or Chimera, you more want to go for increased damage from different sources and just good multipliers. And Xenomorph does that. He gets the multipliers from the poison. Can we just go to his kit here? No. Let's actually quickly take a look at Xenomorph. That's like a hidden gem. You probably have him, and you probably have 5-star soul, because they were both free. So this is like for everybody. But A1 does 2 poisons if it's critical. Is it only 2? I felt like it was 3. No, it was 2. Okay, 2 poisons if it's critical. A2 you're not gonna use. It's for like wave content. And then the A3 does increased damage if they have poisons, and this was doing like 1 million damage per each hit on my account. Maybe somebody's gonna do way more or less, but literally was like 2 million damage per A3. And the passive also puts out poison, so he was kind of crazy. He basically carried me there. Maybe you don't have the exact same champions that I had on that room. Maybe you can do some other kind of synergy with him, but basically make a team boosting Xenomorph. Like, obviously I had like a Lydia in Feral set. Wait, why in Feral? Yeah, in Feral. Which is popular in PvE. For a second I thought it was not feral, I thought it was cruel. Yeah, you get the passive that you get 5 more damage per buff, or I mean debuff. Very common, so you probably have her. Probably Arbiter, and then just 2 other champions. I'm sure I could have done this some other way, but I wasn't really tryharding. As you can see, I only lasted 26 turns, so nothing crazy. Like I said, my goal here was just to do the max... not maximum, but get the maximum loot. I'm not really trying to get rank 1, so... That was good enough key for me. These were basically like... I tried a couple different champions on this one, but I think everything else, it was just one try. One try full auto and I was happy. So now on the other stages, it's a lot more restrictive. I feel like I had like a good carry in the first 3 stages, but on the stage 4, I didn't really have anything crazy. And half of these champions, well, okay, not half. Lucan doesn't have any masteries, and you know, most of them don't have any relic or anything like that. Or I mean, okay, Lucan and Gnut doesn't have any relic. The other ones do, but they're not really built for PvE. Lucan was kind of hidden MVP here. He was recently buffed, and he was actually really good. No masteries on him, no relics, so I'm sure I could pump way more damage here if I did. And on this stage 4, I didn't really have any like revivers or like proper heals. And I kind of realized that there's no crazy nuker, I don't have any crazy supports. Just go full 5-man team and try to do like a 5-man nuker team and try to do as much damage as possible in however long you can survive. And Lucan actually MVP. He probably would be one of the bigger damage dealers too if I had him like fully built. But he's both keeping my team alive and doing damage, so he's kind of doing multiple roles here at once and was crazy good. Nothing crazy, like you probably might not have Galleos, but Mikage, Mike, Gnut, well okay, not Lucan, but Mikey, Gnut and Mikage, you probably have all of those, and possibly Lucan, it's an old champion, not good, so chances are that you put him just for that reason, though recently buffed, so something along those lines, just full damage, that's how I did it. Again, I'm not like a PvE god, I'm not super interested on it. Now, on the third, on the 5th one, I haven't gotten the max damage here, and it would give me a lot of points. Now, I already got 10k personal points, so I'm assuming that I'm gonna get the max rewards. So maybe you don't even have to do all of the keys. Maybe if you do really big first stage, you don't even have to do the 2 last ones, but I didn't even need to do this one, so I didn't really bother, and I have really sucky champions for this one, so we will see if I can get it done or not. One thing I will say here that I noticed on the team, that I don't have like good supports, not even like a champion with attack buff. You can go for the champion pool, and they made it so that it automatically, you know, shows the wrong one, and the correct champions with the right restrictions. Don't look at my Narcissus build, it is placeholder. Nothing is clipped or anything, but I'm probably gonna try him in Mercurial when I can, just because I got the gear for him, not because I think he will be great. He's very not meta, but as you can see, nothing crazy here. One thing I will say about this faction or stage 5 is that Narma was my best nuker. I was running Narma as not a nuker, but just, you know, full feral that I do sometimes in Chimera. And she does poisons, and, you know, also heals the team and leads and everything. She was the biggest damage here, so maybe if you have like some champion that does attack buff in this faction, and then Narma, maybe you can do it. Also, Tuhonark actually has kind of good multipliers, which I noticed, which I never really thought about. And she was kind of, let me double check. I felt like she was the second, okay, not the second biggest. I'm sure I can put, I'm sure I can make Tuhonark the second biggest damage. She was doing more damage with the actual damage skills, but she obviously has one skill that doesn't do any damage, so I guess on paper it was as little as Narcissus and Altan, but really she was doing more damage than them. Those were kind of the 2 MVPs. Nothing else on these factions stuck out, not faction, but this, whatever you want to call it, this affinity faction restricted combination. That were like the best ones that I had. Now here's like lots of health scaling champions like Arix and Narses and nothing crazy. I have Init without attack buff and so on, so it wasn't super great. Probably if I really want to try hard this, I would just maybe take a look at my epics and see if there's any defense scalings ones that I would be able to whip out here, and maybe use my Thor, which probably most people would have built. I don't have him built, I never needed him for anything, but I'm sure if I had like Thor, he does attack buff on himself, that probably would be enough for me to do this key, but I didn't bother because, again, I got all of the rewards already. Now, obviously some people are taking this super seriously. We have a month left of this event, so there's gonna be plenty of time for you to think about it and strategize and so on. I will see if I'm really gonna go for it or no. Okay, it looks like I have maybe a couple clan members that might try to reach for the stars and compete for the global rankings. I'm definitely not, as you can see, I'm all the way to the bottom in my clan, but actually this was kind of surprised me. I didn't even realize it at first, but I'm actually rank 1 right now in my group. I don't know what's the word for this, I guess it's just event group. Now, I'm probably in some kind of, you know, free-to-play group. I'm sure these are not the biggest spenders or contributors in PVE. I'm not exactly sure how these groups are made, but I generally get, you know, weak groups, so it's definitely somehow based on my performance or account. If you know exactly how it works, then let me know it in comments. So I'm a little bit tempted that should I actually try hard and go for the 50 mythic materials, which I originally had no intention of like doing, and I wasn't even looking at these rankings until I think I just accidentally looked them and realized that I'm winning. So maybe I will try hard at the end, but there's 1 month, so I'm not gonna. I think about this in like 3 weeks and 5 days. After that, I might take another look. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good event. For me personally, I like it. Now, obviously, I have played this game for eons. I don't have the best account. Well, honestly, I have pretty bad account for somebody that played as long as I did. But I still have a good amount of champions, even if they're not, you know, the meta ones for PvP right now. You might have a lot stronger account than me, but just less champions and not able to pull this off. But think about it positively. Even if you can't get all of the rewards, you're basically getting some stuff for free, and this could be a lot worse. Usually when Raid does new PvE content, I'm nowhere close to, you know, able to actually do it. And I think they kind of purposely tried to make this one easy, but it's easy in a weird way. Like I said, that you don't need specific champions with specific type of mechanics. Obviously, if you have some guard tier champions, it's good, but it's not like, you know, you will not do any damage to the boss if you don't get decrease attack or decrease speed on it. You don't need a specific thing. Just, it's more about each to check how vast your champion pool is and if you can do it. And yeah, that's about it. Kind of wanted to share my themes and my thoughts about it. I think it's a great event. I've seen a lot of negativity around it. I get why, you know, but you take a lot of L's playing this game. Trust me, I go live arena and I'm just getting dunked by all of the Giga chats. So okay, not there. You know what I mean. I get dunked by all of the Giga chats. You know, everybody gets owned in CVC or Seeds or whatever you do. Maybe PVE too, like I do. So you can't always win and get everything. Even if you get like half of the rewards, it's still a lot of good stuff, and at least you have 1 month to go. Like I said, probably if you want to take any PVE advice from me, with, you know, viewer discretion advised, just the one things that I think you can take out of this video is that definitely use the Xenomorph. That was a great champion. And if you don't have the craziest champions for the teams, just go full nuker. Just try to pump as much damage as possible in 20 or 30 turns. I think the boss started to do block revive after 20 turns, and it does the master seal after 10. Not that I read the boss abilities, I literally have not read them, but obviously I kind of saw it watching the videos, and I'm pretty sure something happens after 30 turns, but I don't think most of my keys went above 30. Yeah, I think 20 is basically when you start dying, but if you have a really good team, you can survive to 30, and then obviously turn 4 it gets some new mechanic that I didn't even read, and that's the way I like it. I'm not even gonna read the boss kit. I already got it done, and that's a victory for me. So this is a wow. Like, even if I try hard at the end and try to compete for rank 1, and probably it's not even gonna be possible, even if it looks like I'm doing well now. I'm sure one of these guys is a sleeper and they're gonna have like 5 billion damage at the end, but I'm not even gonna read the kit. This is a great event for me, and I don't want it to be ruined. I don't want to spend my nights thinking about the mechanics, which didn't even seem that crazy. Anyway, that's about it. See ya.